Most people think starting a company in India is only for experts, lawyers, or people with big money. But here's the truth no one tells you. If you follow the right legal steps in the right order, you can register a company in India much faster than most people expect. The biggest mistake you need to avoid is trying to figure it out as you go. That is exactly where most founders fail. They miss one document, choose the wrong structure, or misunderstand compliance rules, and suddenly their approval gets delayed for weeks. In this video, you are going to learn exactly how to start a company in India, step by step, in 2026. I will break everything down in a simple way, so even if you have zero business background, you will understand exactly what to do next. Now here's where it gets interesting. India has one of the most structured, but also most startup-friendly company registration systems in the world. Once you understand the flow, everything becomes predictable and manageable. Let's start from the beginning. The first thing you need to understand is why people even start companies in India today. India is one of the fastest-growing startup ecosystems in the world. Ecosystems in the world. You have access to a massive market, low setup costs, and strong digital infrastructure. For example, imagine someone like Alex, who wants to start a SaaS business, or Priya, who wants to launch an online consulting brand, or Jake, who wants to start an import-export company. India gives all of them different but scalable paths. But here's the problem. Most people jump straight into registration without understanding company structure. And that is where everything starts to go wrong. So let's begin with the most important decision. Choosing your company type. In India, the most common business structures are private limited company, limited liability partnership, one-person company, and sole proprietorship. Each one has different rules, compliance levels, and benefits. Let's simplify this. If you are planning to scale your business, raise funding, or build a startup, a private limited company is usually the best option. It is the most trusted structure for investors and banks. If you are starting a professional services business with partners, like consulting or freelancing at scale, an LLP is often a better choice because it has fewer compliance requirements. If you are solo and want limited liability protection, a one-person company is a strong option. And if you are just testing a very small business idea, a sole proprietorship is the simplest. But it does not give liability protection. Now here's where most people fail. They choose based on simplicity instead of future goals. But your company structure affects taxes, funding, and legal protection later. So think long-term, not just short-term. Once your structure is clear, the next step is choosing your company name. This sounds easy, but it is actually one of the most sensitive steps in the process. Your company name must follow rules set by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. It cannot be identical or too similar to existing companies. It must not include restricted words, and it should match your business activity. For example, if Alex wants to start a tech consulting firm, a name like Alpha Digital Solutions Private Limited might work, but something already taken, or too generic will get rejected. Now here's a small but important tip. Always prepare at least 3 to 5 name options. Because rejection at this stage is very common. Once your name is approved, you move to the next step, which is digital signature certificates. Now this is where things get technical, but I'll keep it simple. A digital signature certificate, or DSC, is basically your electronic identity for signing legal documents online. Every director of the company needs one. Without a DSC, you cannot file incorporation documents. Now after DSC, the next step is Director Identification Number, also called DIN. Every director must have a unique DIN issued by the government. In many cases today, DSC and DIN are applied together during incorporation. Now here's where it gets interesting. These steps are not separate registration processes anymore. They are integrated into the online company formation system, which makes things faster than before. Once this is ready, you move to the most important stage, which is company incorporation filing. This is done through the SPICE form, which is the main company registration form in India. Now let's break this down simply. The SPICE form includes your company details, directors, registered office address, business activity, and declaration documents. It also connects multiple registrations like PAN, TAN, EPFO, and ESIC in one process. So instead of multiple applications, everything is bundled together. Now here's the problem. Many applicants make mistakes in this form because it is detailed and requires accuracy. A small mismatch in address or director details can cause delays. So always double-check everything before submission. Once your SPICE form is submitted, the government reviews your application. If everything is correct, you receive your certificate of incorporation. Now, this is a big moment, because this certificate officially means your company legally exists. At this stage, you also receive your company PAN and TAN, which are essential for tax and banking purposes. But here's the key point. Your company is registered, but not fully operational yet. Now you move to the next step, which is opening a corporate bank account. This is where many new founders get surprised. Banks in India require your incorporation certificate PAN, business proof, and sometimes additional KYC documents. For example, if Priya is starting a consulting company, the bank will want to understand her income model, client base, and transaction flow. Now here's where most people struggle. They cannot clearly explain their business model to the bank, so approval gets delayed. So before applying, prepare a simple business explanation. What you do, who your customers are, and how money flows. Once your bank account is active, your company is now fully operational. But there is still one more important layer. Compliance. Every private limited company in India must follow basic compliance rules like annual filings, financial statements, and tax returns. LPs also have their own compliance structure. Now here's the mistake most people make. They think registration is the end. But, in reality, compliance is what keeps your company legally active. So staying compliant is just as important as registration itself. Let's quickly go over the full process so it is clear. First, you choose your company structure. Then you select and reserve your company name. Then you obtain DSC and DIN. After that, you file the SPICE incorporation form. Then you receive your certificate of incorporation. After that, you apply for PAN and TAN. Then you open your business bank account. And finally, you manage ongoing compliance. That is the complete legal roadmap to starting a company in India in 2026. Now let's talk about common mistakes. The first mistake is choosing the wrong company structure. The second mistake is rushing through the SPICE form without checking details. The third mistake is not preparing documents properly for bank verification. And the fourth mistake is ignoring compliance after registration. Avoiding these mistakes alone puts you ahead of most first-time founders. Now let's talk about timelines. In many cases, company registration in India can take anywhere from a few days to a couple of weeks depending on document accuracy and government processing time. The faster your preparation, the smoother your approval. Now, here is the final insight. India's system is actually very structured. It may look complex at first, but once you understand the sequence, it becomes logical and repeatable. So if you are someone like Alex planning a startup, or Jake building an online business, or Priya starting a consulting firm, India gives you a strong legal foundation to build from. You just need to follow the system correctly. So let's summarize everything one last time. You start by selecting your company structure. Then you reserve your name. Then you obtain DSC and DIN. Then you file incorporation through SPICE. Then you receive your certificate of incorporation. Then you open your bank account. And finally, you stay compliant with annual filings and taxes. That is the complete journey. And here is the most important takeaway. Success in company formation is not about speed. It is about accuracy and structure. If you follow the steps properly, everything becomes smooth and predictable. If this guide helped you understand the process clearly, make sure you like the video, leave a comment with your business idea, and subscribe for more step-by-step business guides like this. It helps you stay informed and avoid costly mistakes when starting your company.